A prompt is basically an instruction. If it's so difficult to understand like that or to keep in mind, let's give it another thought. Imagine that ChatGPT is the new assistant that you just hired, okay? That person won't know anything about or just very little about your hotel. So you will have to give it a lot of information at first. You'll have to tell the tone of voice you want, the brand voice, the target audience, and all the information about your hotel before the person starts doing something.
Since the release of ChatGPT and the wild ride of generative AI, the world has been taken over by AI tools, AI marketing plans, AI assistants, and so forth. But how does it all play on hospitality copywriting? To answer these and other questions, I invited hospitality copywriter Maria Corpas, a former journalist with a vast experience creating copy for hotels. The twist for Maria is that she has created her own to assist hoteliers to create better copy with all her expertise and experience of over 20 years in the industry. How did she do it?
Myra, if you look at the name, Myra, it's Maria, but with two words changed. Because Myra started as my own assistant. I created Myra because I needed to work on some text and some things that I had. And then I decided, well, if I train her, I don't have to repeat myself over and over, leave my clone on the AI version.
And how does it work with the hotelier?
Well, one day I realized that it was so helpful for me that I could share with my Spanish community. And that's what I did. I started. That was in January this year. And since then, Myra has helped a lot of hoteliers to write better copy. Definitely, yes. They're very happy, and I am so proud of her.
What's up, hospitality? If you're new here, my name is Mauricio Schiller, and you're listening to the Schulering Hub Talking Hospitality podcast, a podcast created for the independent hotelier to catch up on the evolution of the industry. If you haven't done yet, please subscribe to our channel and like this video. Now, let's learn more about how hotels can maximize AI for hotel copywriting with practical user cases. Let's go to the chat. Hello, lovely people, and welcome back to another episode of the Schulering Hub podcast, where we talk hospitality. We are here in the learning journey, and today I have welcoming once again, Maria Corpas Sanchez, directly from Germany and Spain, to talk to us. Maria, welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be back. Yes.
It's awesome to have you back because we had you like in the very, very beginning of our show. We had you when AI first launched, when a webinar that we are talking about relationships and AI. And as AI evolving and we are evolving too, we have you back now to talk about AI and educate our hoteliers and our consultants on how to use AI better. But before we get there, humans come first, and I want you to reintroduce yourself, please, and tell the ones that don't know you and haven't heard our previous episode who Maria Corpas is.
How can I tell who I am in such a short time? I'm actually copywriter for the hospitality industry. I'm specialized in the hospitality industry, but that's not all. I started in the industry working in hotels, in different other companies, technology companies. But before, I was a journalist, which means that one day I could combine both of my knowledge and my experiences. And then I decided it's time to help my Spanish market, which is the one that I help, to increase the direct bookings with better wording, more attractive and persuasive words. And now I'm not only a copywriter, but I'm an AI copywriter because that's what I use for my writing. I know I don't write only myself. I now write with my assistant.
Let's talk a little bit about your assistant because you launched the Myra GPT. I love how you use the name there. And how does it work and what is Myra GPT?
Myra, if you look at the name, Myra, it's Maria, but with two words changed. Because Myra started as my own assistant. I created Myra because I needed to work on some text and some things that I had. And then I decided, well, if I train her, I don't have to repeat myself over and over. She's going to know me better. And the moment I need some text or to improve some of my own text, she's going to understand me better if I start from scratch. And so I did. And I started training her. And if you ask her who is the creator, she's going to tell you Maria Corpas is my creator. And what is your name? And she's going to say, my name is Myra. How many years of experience do you have, Myra? 20 years. So she's basically my clone on the AI version.
And how does it work with the hotelier?
Well, one day I realized that it was so helpful for me that I could share with my Spanish community. And that's what I did. I started. That was in January this year. And since then, Myra has helped a lot of hoteliers to write better copy. Definitely, yes. They are very happy, and I am so proud of her.
That is awesome. So I hope that more hoteliers will start engaging with Myra and start engaging with AI, because we are going to educate our audience here a little bit on what is AI, how we use AI. I brought some data here just to put in context, because since ChatGPT was launched in November 2022, it was one of the fastest companies to reach 1 million users. It took only 5 days to reach that. GPT had now 180 million users, what is quite weird because it peaked on 1.8 billion visitors in April 2023, and now it's down to 180 million users. But it's not because people are using less AI, but because ChatGPT basically gave their tools away to a lot of the companies, and people don't need to visit ChatGPT anymore, but they can use with Copilot, they can use with so many other tools that are out there nowadays. Just as a comparison that I think that's very funny, Instagram took 2.5 months to reach 1 million users, and Netflix 3.5 years. So it's quite a thing that AI came into context. And today is the 29th of August. And if you are the Terminator fan, it's on the 29th of August that actually AI gained consciousness and 4 billion people died. But that was supposed to be 1997, so Terminator is out. We don't care about them. That's not true. That's not going to happen. So let's stop the monologue here and let's get to educate our audience on what is AI and how to use it. So, Maria, what exactly is a prompt and why is it important for AI? Sorry to interrupt. If you're enjoying this show and if you're learning something new today, please consider following the show, subscribe to our channel, or leave us a review. It helps us to help more people through the podcast, and it would mean the world to us. Thank you for listening, and we're back on the chat.
That's a very good question. So I like to explain a prompt as an instruction. And you can also say that it's like a part of a conversation. That's what I use it. Because if you look at my prompt, you will think I'm crazy. I talk to Myra like I talk to a human assistant. So I say in the morning, hello, Myra, good morning, how are you? Things like that. When she does well, I also reward her. Thank you, Myra. You can go for coffee, things like that, really.
You do.
And when she does not bring me good output, I say, Myra, this is not a good work. So you got to redo it again. Exactly. So it's part of the conversation. And I know at the beginning that it's hard to understand that you're talking to a machine. I know. It's not Google anymore because it took time for us to get used to Google the words that we needed to get a good search. At the beginning, we were all saying, can you please find me a restaurant close to Manhattan? And it was like this long. And with the time, we learned to shorten and to use just a few words. But this is right the opposite. So ChatGPT does not want this. It's not the same thing. So what you got to do is to talk to her. I mean, I always say her because I use Myra a bit. But yes, that's the thing. So a prompt is basically an instruction. If it's so difficult to understand like that or to keep in mind, let's give it another thought. Imagine that ChatGPT is the new assistant that you just hired, okay? That person won't know anything about or just very little about your hotel. So you will have to give a lot of information at first. You'll have to tell the tone of voice you want, the brand voice, the target audience, and all the information about your hotel before the person starts doing something. So that's exactly what you got to do with ChatGPT. So keep in your mind, okay, I'm talking to the new assistant. And that's why I have to give a lot of information. So that's prompting, basically, conversation.
Now you said something that always get me confused. You said the tone of voice, right? And this is something that I get confused many, many times when you say like, what's your brand tone of voice? Like, what is my brand tone of voice? Can you clarify what's the tone of voice when you're talking to AI?
When you talk to AI, you have to be sure that it understands your prompt, that you understand what you want, what you expect. Because what happens with ChatGPT is that it loves fancy words. So if you're not specific, it would start using long phrases with tons of adjectives and verbs, and you don't need that, really. I mean, we don't talk like that. So you have to tell and remind the system that it has to be shorter, it has to be straight to the point, that maybe, and it depends as well on the type of hotel you have. You have to specify, like we run luxury boutique hotel, or we run a 5-star hotel. So we have to use words like more with another type of sense, you know. And that's exactly what you got to do. You have to specify exactly what you want and how you want it to give you this output. But saying that, it's not going to be perfect on the first time. It's never, not even for me. So when I work with Myra, even Myra knows me and Myra knows how I write. Most of the time, on the first prompt, it's not right. And I have to remind her, remember that we're talking about this and that hotel, so you have to use this and this verbs. You have this and this verbs you cannot use as well. It's as important to say the words that you want her to use that the ones you don't want to use. So both are saying they have the same importance, as well as cliches. You know, when you have this lovely cliches that we have in our industry. So, but you have to
home away from home.
Yeah, home away from home. I read it so often. My God, even in Spanish as well.
And so we're talking about like basically paging AI in a way that it will work for you for that tone of language to actually give the message away. So what type of mistakes do you see hoteliers making, and how can we avoid them?
The biggest mistake is that they write very short prompts. And I do this with some of my clients and friends and with people around that I always ask, like, can we do an exercise? I'll give you instructions and you have to give it back to ChatGPT and see what the output comes back. And they all do the same. They write things like, write 10 posts for Instagram for my hotel. All right, fine. What do you want? ChatGPT to read your mind? No, unfortunately not. Not yet. ChatGPT does not read minds yet. So you gotta be really specific and give the details. We run a 5-star hotel in this city and this particular location. Our USP is that and that. We have certain facilities. And with all that information, I want you to write 10 posts for Instagram and put them on a table, for instance. And then it will write you. Wow. So that's the thing. That what happens, that is a lot of work at the beginning, but I have a trick.
Share with me.
This is the trick. If you don't want to write, you can dictate it. Because you have ChatGPT in your phone, and there is here a little button you can press, and you can dictate the prompt. End of story. So for those who tell me all the time, Maria, it's so long, I kind of repeat it all the time, and I forget things, and I'm like, okay, write the prompt, put it in front of you, and then tell ChatGPT through your mobile phone. And that's it. Just make the changes, and that's it.
And do you actually, every time you start a chat, you introduce all the concepts of the hotel again?
depends. If I use the regular ChatGPT, I have to start from scratch. If I create a GPT, then not, because it has already all the knowledge in.
Ooh, create a GPT, what does it mean?
Yeah, it's like Myra. Myra, it's copycat of myself, of the AI version. I can also do the same for the hotels. So I can replicate all the information the hotels have, put it in, let's say, I don't know, put it in a box, in a box, so that a GPT will understand. And the more you feed it, the more it will understand the business, right? So I give it a lot of information about the brand voice. If they have some brochures, I also give to it. So everything. And if that's the case, it's easy for me to interact.
Wow. So one question that hoteliers, it's not a question actually, something that they normally tell me that I don't use AI because it's a lot of inaccurate information. How can you avoid it?
Oh yeah, that's a very good question, because it happened recently that someone mentioned to me, well, after I apply all your advices, what happened was that the festival we ran, so he asked the ChatGPT to create one Instagram post for the hotel and so on. And then he did. It was for a festival, but the festival was canceled and he didn't know. So I run, and I was like, okay, you got to check first, you check the information you give to the machine, because the machine doesn't know if it's closed or it's not, it's been canceled or whatever. So that's the first thing. Sometimes it gives inaccurate information because it's not up to date, actually. So you have to ensure that you first check your information and you pass it exactly how it is to the machine. And the other thing is that, as I mentioned before, ChatGPT loves fancy words. So what happens is that maybe you told the AI that you had a small hotel and you had 10 rooms and they are lovely because every room has a different color. Let's put this example, right? And then all of a sudden you see that the output, it's like it had a fantastic palette of coloring, and you're like, okay, come on, hold on. It's not that, it's so much. So it really likes exaggerating a little bit more. So you have to calm it down and say, stop, it's not that way, it's the other way. Don't be so exaggerated, just, yeah.
I've seen examples of like hotels that the name changed and the person probably didn't realize. But from becoming a hotel became a resort.
Oh, really?
And it hit I've seen it. Like, because here they post mostly in English, but not everyone dominates the English language. So they are using ChatGPT to provide the copy in English, right? And sometimes they just don't pay enough attention to what is written, and changing the name of the hotel is definitely something that should be paying attention to. But one question is, like, when we come to say AI is everywhere right now in hospitality, right? So it's in the revenue management, it's in the price policy, everywhere. What tools do you recommend hoteliers to use, at least in the copywriting world? Is only ChatGPT, or do you recommend other things?
Well, I started with others that were not well known. They were known at all, because when I started using AI, nobody knew about ChatGPT or any others. I was using Copy AI and Jasper and others. And they were okay back at that time. We're talking about November 22, something like that, even earlier than that. And they were not that good at that moment. Now they're sharp and they're very good at this. But of course, you have to pay for this. You have to know how to use them. So for now, it's okay to use ChatGPT. It's true there are others like Copilot or Gemini. I have also used them. But to be honest, I love ChatGPT. I really like it. The thing is that if you use one prompt in three of them, you will see the difference. And prompting, it's like having a conversation with someone, as I say. So you know how to get into the conversation. And if you start changing from one to another, you have to rewind yourself and retrain yourself to follow this conversation. So for me, the best is to focus on ChatGPT, also because they were the first one. They are ahead of the others. So I really like it. So I will suggest to everyone, go to the tool and then keep practicing.
Let's give a gift to our audience now. Let's give them how you use your first steps to get a result of a prompt. How you would start a conversation until you get the actual prompt that you want the GPT to deliver to you.
For example, let's say email marketing, the welcome email, which is always so repetitive and the same thing. I had to write quite a lot of them for hotels, and what I do, I always ask them, give me something that everybody asks for when they arrive. And then they say, okay, let's say everybody asks for a restaurant when they come, or everybody asks if there is a playground close by. Okay, so we're going to...
You're talking to the hotelier, actually.
Hotelier, yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah, okay.
The thing I know I do is to ask the hotelier this information. So what I go to ChatGPT once I have that information, and then I tell ChatGPT, hello, Myra, I'm here. How are you? I need you to help me write an email. It's a welcome email that guests will receive when they just booked the hotel. I want this to be totally different as a standard, so you have to tell them in advance. We want to tell them in advance that the hotel has, I don't know, a restaurant open 24 hours, whatever it is, right? Or a playground close by, or anything that they have. So something that everybody asks for, generally speaking. Let's say we want to be one step, ahead of that question. So we want to answer before they ask. Mm-hmm. And on that email, I construct the email with her in a way that we answer that question without being asked. And for that, ChatGPT already knows what a welcome email contains. That's for sure, but you have to guide it. So you can ask at the beginning this question. So help me write this welcome email for my hotel. My hotel has these details, where it is, where it's located, how many stars, it has a category and everything. You give all the details, the important details. And then you say, I want you to add this other thing that is very important for us, that they know it. Once the first output comes, then is when you will start using your scissors, because I can tell you it's going to be quite long. It loves wording. I mean, it really loves, all fancy words. So you have to start cutting and say, cut here, cut there. Don't put this one, short that one, and you're going to get a very good email.
That's awesome. Thank you. I hope that our audience is taking notes now and getting right to try it out. But if you cannot try it out, here you go. An unshamed plug, and just contact Maria to learn a little bit more. But now, like you said before about hoteliers writing the first prompt, like write me 10 posts for Instagram, whatever. So can actually AI create a whole campaign, a whole marketing campaign for a hotel, or you would suggest to use in piece by piece?
I always do piece by piece. I mean, the first thing is come up with ideas. ChatGPT is amazing with that. That's what I love it, because when I don't have ideas in my mind, sometimes I'm like blocked. I have this, this typical writer thing that you get, like your brain freeze. And I don't know how to continue. Then I ask, give me ideas about blah, 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 blah. And then I ask, and then tons of ideas come up. From one idea, I say, well, I want to take these 3 ideas, and I want you to create a calendar for posting on LinkedIn or for posting on whatever social media it is, or posts or articles, what I need to write. In case it's something you have to do in, several weeks, then it's better to go 7 by 7 or maximal 10 by 10. Otherwise, it will keep repeating. So it's like it says the same thing but with different wording, and that's not something we want. So keep it short, more specific, but work from there. So once everything is okay with that table, let's say, with that calendar, then start working on the point. Point number 1, I want you to write 200 words for this prompt, for this post, and then I want you to focus on this offer that we have. We're giving 20% from November to December for those who booked before, August. And then you have to give all the specifications, and then it's when you start just, write, when it start writing and you also start getting better out. It's a conversation. It's exactly as you had a new assistant. I'm pretty sure that if you tell a brand new assistant, write me 10 posts for LinkedIn, and the person would say like, excuse me, can you give me more info? But it's exactly the same.
Very true. Do you use AI for generating images as well?
Yes, a lot of it. Renders, what we call it, renders. Sometimes I have, in fact, now I'm working in a big project that is where the hotel is being rebuilt. So it's so difficult for me to think about how the hotel is going to be that I use renders, and I create my own render based on the information that I get from the marketing department.
What's a render?
It's an image that recreates how it's going to be. So when people tell me, okay, so we have a gym, and the gym has a very big window from up to bottom, and it faces, I don't know, lavender fields, there's things like that, I think about it, and then I create a prompt, and I ask ChatGPT to create that image so I can imagine it myself as well.
That's awesome. That's so many tricks. Now, we spoke before about the home away from home, this little cliche, right? So I can see that you don't like them so much. So can we use AI to actually get better ideas, and then should we collect one and call it ours, or should we be changing these ideas, these cliches? Because normally we had that slogan, these are normally like unforgettable, stay, and they keep that as a slogan in every single post and everywhere you see it. How can GPT or AI improve that?
I have to say that I'm allergic to them, honestly. I am allergic to cliches. I just don't like it at all. Even for me, it's so difficult to use the word ours. In our hotel, we have our rooms, and these are our facilities, would drive me crazy. So these are the first things that are included in my prompts, always, no matter what. So it is forbidden to use these words. And I say welcome, I don't like welcome, it doesn't add much, so no welcome, no home away and things like that, not at all. And in Spanish, I think we have more in Spanish than in English, to be honest. We have just so many. I cut them all. It's like, no, don't use this. Don't use the word unique. Never, ever. Don't use the word spectacular, ever.
Word unique, the least unique word ever created.
Yeah, exactly. So I already instruct her to not use this kind of words. Yes, it's something we have to do it. It's just how it is. Just remember all the words you have heard so many times, so have your audience. So you better change them.
What is the answer from ChatGPT to replace the word welcome?
It uses another one. Yeah, when I normally say don't use welcome, just to start with something else, something more catchy. Because because the hotel has 3 swimming pools, we're the only one. It's better to start with something that is eye-catching. Okay, this hotel has 3. Well, 3 is very normal, but if you have, 20, imagine you had a hotel with 20 different swimming pools. It's more attractive if the first line you see on your website, it's something catchy. But if you say, welcome to our hotel in California, really seriously, no way. No. There are and every hotel has something. Every hotel. I haven't worked with one customer that had a hotel with nothing. Every hotel has something special, something that we can create. We can create a title that really stands out instead of using the word welcome.
Great advice. And when it comes to AI and ethics, because there are some ethical considerations about AI. There's so many actually fights about how AI has been trained, and some big companies, book publishers that are getting on OpenAI and actually suing them. So what are the ethical ethical considerations of using the AI in the hotel copywriting?
I don't see any, to be honest. I don't have any problem with AI. It's true that it's always very, very happy and very positive. And if you try to argue, you won't get into argument with AI. No way. Because it's trained to be happy and to everything. It's, flower power. And so no, you're not going to argue. But, I don't have time for that either. So I try to get the most of it. And so far, so good. I don't have any problems. The only thing are the cliches that is being trained to repeat over and over the same cliches. And I have to retrain it. But so far, not really. One thing is, it is important to understand that there is a rule for us to follow. And it's garbage in, garbage out. So if you get bad information, you get bad information. And another thing, which I call it the rule number 1.1 as well, because it's not even two, they're almost the same importance. They have the same importance. And it's edit everything that it gives you. You have to edit it. You don't have to copy paste, because it might not give you the information that you need, or it might not be accurate. So it's very important to edit it.
How about deleting the emojis of the rockets in the first line? It's amazing. I think that every AI copy starts with a rocket. The first thing is a rocket. There's an emoji rocket. It's amazing. But when we get to using AI for online reputation, that's one that a lot of people, a lot of hoteliers are using, right? How can AI actually respond to reviews more effectively?
I think it's a really, really good tool for that, because you can get all the information, put it in an Excel sheet, give it to ChatGPT and tell, please analyze this large volume of information. So detect patterns, an area of improvements. Please give me some possible responses that I can give to guests. So amazing what it can do. The truth is that you might notice that the answers are pretty similar. So then it's when you have to tell, don't rewrite the same thing with different words. I want you to be more straightforward. I want you to use the name of the person, so it's more personalized. But even though after that, you have to read what it gave you. So the output needs to be edited for you.
And now you said about collecting a large volume of information from past reviews and to identify. How do you do that to train the GPT?
You collect the information, most of the websites where you collect information, you collect reviews, you can upload it as SVC files. And once you have it, you can give it directly, like copy paste. You give it to ChatGPT and you say, I have this file. These files are the reviews I've got for the last 20 days or whatever. And I need you to do A, B, C. You can give the instructions, what you want. And you can also ask for a table if you like. I want to have a table where you put every information that I ask you for in every column. And in the end, I want you to answer these customers in the best way. There's not repetitive, there is very personalized and so on. And the output is just amazing.
Wow. Look, there's so much coming out here for our audience, so much. And if we would get some resources for learning about prompt engineering, staying up to date, because it is moving super, super fast. What are the resources that you use that you would share with an audience, and the ones that you keep in secret, you can keep in secret?
No. There is no secret about it. I practice, and I am like a Hoover. I absorb everything. And when somebody tells me, oh, this worked for me, I copy it. And I say, okay, I'll give it a try. Oh, it didn't work for me, maybe, or it did. But I'm always trying new things. And just keep yourself updated. This is one advice that I give to everyone. Keep yourself updated in the AI, because AI is not going to replace you, but someone who knows how to use it might. So I know at the beginning it's hard to deal with this machine because we're not used to that. But try. give it a try every day. Try to have a conversation about whatever. It doesn't have to be exactly some task that you have to finish that day. Just something that comes in your mind, like, what if we write a post about the next exhibition that we're going to have? Write it and see what the output is. Try to make it better. And that's the only thing. I mean, it's true there are a lot of courses out there, but they are not specific for hospitality. I'm creating my own, but I haven't finished yet. But I will, yes. But I understand. I mean, it's a lot. There's a lot of information out there, but I also feel sometimes overwhelmed with such an amount of information. What I do, pick one thing, try to put it in practice, see if it works for you. Next thing.
I love the way that you use the sentence that AI will not replace you, but someone using AI will. And I'd like to bring back to our hotel world to understand when I speak to hoteliers about it. And it's just like this. If you need to renovate all the bathrooms of your hotel and someone comes without any tools and will do a beautiful job with their own hands, and you know that they will do a beautiful job, it's just going to take 9 months to finish. And someone will come with the normal tools that we use nowadays and can do everything in 3 months. Which one would you hire? Right? So it's just a tool, and if you just don't use the tool, you're going to be replaced for someone using the tools. So it's a tool. It won't replace our lives yet, but
yes, it is. Yeah.
It's a tool that we should be engaging and we should be learning, just as the computer. We use a computer and now it's just like, oh, it's a computer. But 30 years ago, people were like, now I have my typing machine, it's okay.
Yeah.
Right?
And let me tell you one thing, very soon, we won't be able to get refrigerator without AI, because very soon it's going to be implemented inside, so that when we are out of something, let's say we don't have milk anymore, it's going to scan the whole fridge and send us a note to our mobile phone saying we don't have more milk, you gotta buy more. So things like that, and this is coming very soon.
That's amazing, isn't it? That's amazing. One thing that I also reply about AI is that AI today is this AI thing, right, that we speak. 20 years ago, we would speak about the internet like this, right? The internet, I will go to the internet. Now it's just like it's WhatsApp. You just call someone, you don't think that's the internet. So just think that the things are going faster, and in 5 years, you don't speak about AI because it's just there. It's just part of our life. So let's keep sharing that, and let's dream about the future as we are already moving towards that way, right? Because AI is unpredictable. The future is unpredictable. Everyone's saying, like, for the first time in human history, probably, we don't know what 20 years will look like. So how far do you believe we'll be in 5 years using AI?
I don't know, but I can wish. I can wish.
Of course.
Because I have seen this revolution going so fast. I believe that in 5 years, I can delegate most of our boring tasks, even the not that boring, but more creative tasks, to Myra, for sure. And I'll be like this, edited everything she writes. I wish I could.
Yeah, if I know you, you will be like using your time to be creating new things, right?
Oh, definitely. Yes. You know, I'm unstoppable. But that's fantastic, you know, because I can use my time to create something new. That's brilliant, you know.
I love that sentence that someone said, like, the only thing that I don't get about AI is I like to be writing and drawing. I want AI to be doing my laundry and vacuum my house, right? That's one thing that I'm hoping that we're going to get very soon. Well, AI actually can vacuum your house. So, and Maria, how can our audience contact you, learn more about your work, maybe some courses coming about AI, or Myra? How can they contract Myra as an assistant for themselves?
Myra is accessible when you go to my LinkedIn profile. You know, below my photo, there is a link, and then you get there, you give your details, and then you get access to Myra. The truth is that it's very focused on the Spanish market, but you can use it because Myra speaks all languages. So you don't have to speak Spanish. You can speak any language. And so, yeah, that's the thing. And You can reach me through my profile in LinkedIn, Maria Corpas. I think I'm the only one, by the way, I guess. I don't know. I think so. Yes, so I'm reachable there. Yes.
Also, man, they can reach you on Schulering platform as well, right? You are already there. I hope that you're getting put your links to people to access your Mayra through the Schulering.com platform.
Yes, as well. Yes, of course. Schulering, for sure.
Maria, thank you so much. That was a super masterclass on AI for copywriting. I really appreciate you coming here and sharing all your knowledge with us. It's awesome to have you here. Also to have your smile and laugh with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time. Bye.